And we're back. We are back.
Take two.
Take two. So if you don't understand what this is all about, okay, it's because we went and we had to edit and delete take one.
Yes.
So and if you're watching this and you didn't catch the first one,
lucky you.
We're not going to tell you what happened exactly. So looks like we're having an issue with streaming to Facebook at the moment. They'll keep trying. So okay, or just remove the destination from the stream, then re-add it. Well, can I do that? Let's see. I don't think so. I had to start all over again. So let's let them continue, and hopefully it'll show up in Facebook. If not, you can also go to our YouTube channel, SONrise with Jay and Katrina, and catch us live there. Okay. So would you like to introduce what we're doing?
I certainly would. So last week we covered looking back on what the year 2025 and what went well for us. So hopefully you guys each came up with something that you thought you did well. And for me, myself, I know that I spent more time developing or intentionally building things that align with my calling. And so I feel good about that. So I really prioritize that. I know that's what I'm put on this earth to do, is use the gifts that God's given me. And so I've been doing more of that. Now this week we're going to focus on what we wish we had more of and what we spent our time on. And so we are going to be in 1 Corinthians 10, 23 through 33. Which might have been why we have take two right now.
Put our finger on it.
It's right. It's right here in my Bible.
Okay. I've got mine right there. I got my finger on it right there. Okay.
And we use John Maxwell's Leadership Bible for our teachings.
I did it upside down. There it is.
So that's what we love to use. So. Mm-hmm. If you have one, if you're a member of the John Maxwell team like we are, then grab yours.
And if you're not, get yours and talk to us about the John Maxwell team. Yeah. Well, happy to share.
We are.
Okay, so you want me to go ahead and start reading?
Yeah, you can start reading.
You want me to do that? Okay.
Sure.
So in 1 Corinthians 10:23, the believer's freedom, it says, I have the right to do anything you say. That's what you say. I have the right to do anything. Okay, but not everything is beneficial. I think sometimes people forget that part. Not everything is beneficial. You may have the right to do anything, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive. No one should seek their own good, but the good of others.
Can I read my version too? Because we have a different
We do have two different versions.
And I love that.
Sure. She hates my version, but go ahead.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
it's the Bible. I do not hate your version. All things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but not all things edify. Let no one seek his own, but each one the other's well-being. And I like that.
Semantics.
I love it. It aligns really well with me.
Okay.
But I love both versions. They're very good.
Okay.
Same scripture.
Everybody loves her version. Applaud. Okay. So, and so what is that saying to us? What is that telling us exactly? Do you want to go on to the next?
And then we have free will. So what areas of your life maybe did you use free will in last year, but you really know that you want to be more disciplined in this year?
Yeah. And like I said, it's not everything we want to do is constructive. There's many times we want to do things, but does it benefit ourselves and does it benefit others in the long run? And if we truly are people who want to add value to people, we value people and we want to add value, then we got to look at what am I doing today that might not be of value, but might kind of be devaluing someone else.
Yeah. Or what are we doing today that is not productive toward things that could be edifying to others, or our calling, what we're called to do. So that's the thing.
Would you like to read your version of chapter 25 and move on from there?
I'll read 25.
Oh, verse 25, I mean.
Yeah. Eat whatever is sold in the market, asking no questions for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness, all its fullness. What does yours say?
Oh,
Say
now
that
you
pretty
want to
much.
know what mine says. Eat anything sold in the meat market without raising questions of conscience. For the earth is the Lord's and everything that is in it. Everything
He
that is
made
in
it
it.
for us.
And if an unbeliever invites you to a meal and you want to go, eat whatever is put before you without raising questions of conscience. But if someone says to you, this has been offered in sacrifice, then do not eat it, both for the sake of the one who told you and for the sake of conscience. I am referring to the other person's conscience, not yours. For why is my freedom being judged by another's conscience? If I take part in the meal with thankfulness, why am I denounced? Because of something I thank God for. And so I'm not exactly 100% sure how we're going to break that one down. What are your thoughts? And if you're watching, please put your thoughts into the comments as well. That's hard to break down, because we know if we go someplace and they're having something that we would not normally eat, we would not normally drink, we would not normally partake of.
I think when we get down here to our,
It's going to break it down.
I think we're going to be able to speak into that a little bit more.
Okay.
But let's just continue.
Okay. And we'll go on till we get to 33. Do you want to read 31 through 33?
Sure. Therefore, whatsoever you eat or drink, and whatsoever you do all to the glory of God. Give no offense either to the Jews or to the Greeks or to the church of God, just as I also please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And John Maxwell's Bible, he gives us some little talking points here that we like to use.
Mm-hmm.
And leaders regularly face choices that affect not only their own lives, but many others. What's more, many of these decisions have no clear answer. They do not appear black or white, but gray. So how does a leader make good decisions in the gray areas? Paul describes a system for making tough decisions. And do you want to talk about the priority?
Sure, yeah. Let's talk about the first point. There's 3 points here that he's making. And when we say leaders, that's you. Whether you're leading a team, you're leading people, if you're the head of a household, if you're leading your family, if you're a single person, you're leading yourself. You're always leading and always influencing. So when we say the term leader, it doesn't always mean a person of authority in a position of leadership. So the first thing he says here, prioritize. These are instructions from Paul. Prioritize God's people. Place their needs above your own needs.
Yes.
So it says, put others first. The term others describes a person unlike you. I've never referred to myself as an other.
John's commentaries are fun sometimes.
They are. One with whom you are likely to disagree. See, this is not one whom you are likely to agree with. And isn't it true that sometimes we really aren't growing and expanding when we're in an echo chamber?
Right.
When we only connect and communicate with people that are like us. Now, you want to be cautious in building your circles of influence. You want to be able to identify where they should be placed within your circles. But you grow when you learn something new and try to seek to understand somebody else's perspective. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but we learn to understand and we help to grow. And it actually helps what we believe to be clearer, to clarify some things.
Yeah, it does.
Leaders must choose what is best for others, not what appeals to their own taste. So ask yourself, who will benefit most from this decision, me or others? Thoughts?
Yeah, it's awfully easy for us to make decisions that benefit ourselves. But, do you want to add more time this year to be open to others and to serve others? I think that's something we want to make sure we're adding into this new year.
100%. How can we serve others? others. And maybe others could be our word for the year. I don't know, but others, be others focused and know what can we do to serve them, not for our own benefit, but how, like what we do, when we provide services and coaching and mentoring and things, how does it benefit them? And that's the main focus. Everything we do actually is so that others may benefit personally and professionally. So how can we do that in our personal lives? How can we benefit others and add value to them in moments?
Maybe we need to add more volunteer time, into our coming year. Those are always good things to do.
Yes, they are.
Pick something that aligns with your values and go and serve in that area.
So let's see. You want to read the second one?
Sure. Pursue God's glory. Does the decision glorify God or someone else? Paul would agree with a short
with a shorter catechism.
Okay, I lost my place. It was and the chief. Oh, maybe I can't read this that far away. And the chief end of man is to glorify God and to enjoy Him forever. Ask yourself: Does this decision give people a better picture of who God is? There's too many D's together for me, I guess.
Okay.
So
you need
everything that we do, should let people see Christ through us. And I'm not going to say that we are going to fail at that. Sometimes we are human, but we should come to an awareness sometime in that day that, hey, I could have handled that differently. Or next time I can be aware of a situation that may, be harder for me to handle, and then know how I'm going to handle that. Act as if, something is going to happen and that might trigger you in a bad way. Then you know how to react in a better way that lets the light shine on God.
And a lot of times those are hard lessons learned, after we've already done it, but it should only happen once.
Yeah, we should be able to.
Never make the same mistake twice, because you cannot make the same mistake twice. What you do is you make a mistake once, and the next time it's neglect. It's avoidance. You're not learning, you're not growing. You already had the awareness. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. And when you set pride and ego aside, then you're more open to that self-awareness and self-accountability. I have to hold myself accountable. And if I truly am a man of God or a woman of God, a person who honors and glorifies God, if I truly am a person who wants people to experience God through me, through my actions, how I behave, more than just my words. I believe the greatest and strongest Christians are not the ones who go out there and proclaim Christ verbally, but they live it out in their life daily. Let people see that. And I think that's kind of what this is talking about. The chief end of a man is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. How do we glorify God? Well, we represent. We are truly ambassadors of Jesus Christ. And as any ambassador, you represent the one that you are going out forward to serve and to represent. So,
yes.
The third one is perceive God's purpose. The third point in verses 32 through 33. Let me go back and read those two verses for you. Even as I try to please everyone in every way, for I am not seeking my own good, but the good of many, so that they may be saved. So the ultimate purpose for our being on earth is to bring others to Christ. We must always move toward fulfilling this mission. So you got to ask yourself, will this decision please God, and will it fulfill His purposes? This decision I'm making, will it please God, and will it fulfill His purposes? Now, while we're others focused, I want you to ask yourself this: is what I'm doing for me, what I'm doing for me please God? And is what I'm doing for me, is it going to fulfill His purposes for my life? What activity are you doing that isn't helpful to you to honor God? What are you doing that does not glorify God? What are you doing that say, well, I do these things, but God understands, and I'll just ask forgiveness. You can't keep doing the same thing and asking forgiveness every single time. Yes, you can.
He will forgive
He
us,
will forgive.
but he does want us to turn from that.
He wants to turn. Why? Because it's not just about us, it's about others. And if you continue doing the same thing you're doing, you're not going to represent him in such a way that brings others to him. So we have to show up every day, in every way, in everywhere, with everyone, in the way that people say. Like this woman told me a long time ago, she had to be 80 years old, I think it was. And I wasn't talking about the Lord. I wasn't talking, but it was my countenance, the way I showed up. She says, the only way that 80-year-old people can do, she says, you got this, Lord, you got the Spirit in you, I can tell. And that was one of the greatest compliments, that I was living it out in such a way that others could see me, someone of wisdom actually could see that in me without me proclaiming and professing. And there's something about that. There's something about, think about it. When you're around people that are truly in the Spirit, they don't have to say it. You see it. You see it, and you start to feel it. Yes. And I think that's what he wants us to do. So some of the time that we're spending this year, are you spending it in investing in others? Are you spending it in investing in the Word of God and seeking to understand? Don't read the book like many do. And if you're doing this, God bless your heart. But if you're doing it just to do a check off for the year, hey, I read the Bible in 365 days. Okay, I can read a menu and not get anything from it at a restaurant. I can read the whole menu, but I still got to select something that's going to feed my body. So you need to spend time in something that, as you're reading, how is this affecting me? What are
you doing with it?
What am I doing with it? What is it doing for me? How can I take this scripture and apply it in my life? It is truly the living word. So let it live in you. Don't let it just be another check off. Hey, I read the Bible in 365 days. I'm reading 5 chapters a day. Okay, that's great. Are you spending time and investing to understand it? We were on a verse, I think, a few days ago, and we just got stuck in that verse because it just spoke so much to us that we were there for the longest time, and because there was so much to learn and grow from. So
that's true. So let's talk about some of these things. So can you identify some time thieves that are stealing time from you? What are you doing that is wasteful use of your time, that you're not serving, that you're not growing, that you're not living in who God calls you to be? And it is so easy. There are so many ways for our devices to steal time. Are we spending the time we want to spend with our family? Are we spending the time we want to spend with God? Are we spending time focusing on the things where we can serve others? So that's something I just want you guys to think about, because I know for me, there are time thieves that I have, had in 2025 that I don't wish to bring with me into 2026.
Yeah, and having that awareness too, you can look back and say, and that's why I always say it's very important at the end of the year is to do those reflections, and ask yourself those questions. Where did I spend my best time? Where did I invest my best self? Where was it? What were the time killers and time wasters? And we all have them at the beginning of the year when we project into the future what we want. We need to also remember that part of that projection is elimination of time stealers.
Yes.
And you can only understand that if you reflect on the past year and say, identify what were the time stealers? What were the time stealers, the productivity killers? What were these things? And when I understand that, and I have an awareness, guess what? When you have an awareness and then you acknowledge it, okay, now you're accountable.
If you don't, set aside time, dedicated time, then you're not going to, you're going to waste it and fill it with something else, So either you decide how you're going to spend it, or you're just going to wander around and waste your time.
I love what Napoleon Hill said in his book Think and Grow Rich. Is there's a difference between the are you a wandering generality or a meaningful specific? Are you being very specific and meaningful with your time. Very specific and meaningful with your skills and your talents and the gifts that God has given you. Are you being meaningfully specific? Or are you going to continue to be a wandering, okay? In other words, lost, confused, not knowing which direction to go. You're at an intersection in your life. Do I do left, right, forward, back? What do I do? Generality, anything and everything. Whatever sticks, that's what I'm doing. People live their life like that sometimes. They just throw it at the wall, and whatever it sticks, that's where they go. That's a wandering generalis. So be more meaningful, be more specific in this next year. Identify the time stealers and killers of the past. Eliminate those, or at the very least, limit those. Spending more time in the Word.
Mm-hmm.
You have some?
I did.
Okay.
But it's gone.
I hate when that happens to me. I'm like, I've got something to say. I don't remember what it was.
Okay. It was gone.
Okay.
Just like that.
Like
it was
that.
gone.
It happens.
And then I don't want to go too much more here, but
Okay.
okay. Well, I do like this one though.
Okay.
Did I spend too much time on urgent tasks that weren't actually important? And I think that as we're reviewing and thinking about that, did you do that? This has got to be done right now, but it wasn't important.
Right.
And I think that we can do that. We can misalign what, we need to have that importance being really high there. So does it also, I've got it. Does it, what I was going to say a second ago,
Okay.
does what we're working on, does what we're doing, does it align with our values? Because that's super important.
100%.
So we don't want to be spending a lot of time doing things that, probably shouldn't be doing any time, spending time on things that don't align with our values. So if you don't, haven't identified what your values are, that's really important to you. This book right here can kind of help you come up with some really great ones.
Mm-hmm.
But family, God, family, and then, whatever your calling is, those things, your calling obviously aligns with who you are and valuing your family and God. So think about those things and how you spend your time.
Yeah. And speaking of the values, I mean, a lot of times, and I'm not going to, be very specific, but this is the time of the year people are looking to improve their lives, do something different, clean out the closet, get in better shape, call a friend or whatever. But does it align with your values? Recently we were introduced to a program, and I'm not going to give the name of it or anything like that, but we were introduced to a program regarding physical fitness, mental fitness, and things. And here's the thing: on the surface, everything looked fantastic and great. And it's a very successful program. But as I started researching the founder and the main character of this program, I realized their values and ours do not match. And so I did not think it was valuable what's the word? Beneficial for us to invest our time and our energy into this program. So you want to look at that. Who are you connecting with? What programs or processes are you involved with? And find out, does the creator of this, who's taking my money, do their values match my values? Don't get confused. There are many programs out there that are very impressive, but are they in alignment with who you are? Do they honor God? Does it fulfill will it please God and fulfill his purposes? Mm-hmm. If not, you got to do a heart check, a checkup from the neck up, a checkup from the heart up. So I think that's about, our time. So you have anything to close out with?
Just, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what you've got planned for this year and how God's going to work in you and through you to fulfill that. Stay focused on those things that align with your values and your calling, and just really get closer to God, because that's how that you're going to get where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's eliminate the time, identify the time killers, and eliminate those time killers. Okay.
Yes.
So let's look at that this next year. And as always, if we can be of service to you whatsoever and encouragement, hey, you know how to get a hold of us. Okay. Right here, leave your comments, and we'll be happy to get in touch. We really want to reach out to every single one of you who take the time to reach out to us, and we want to add value to you.
And as always, also, if you are in need of prayer, please reach out. Jay and I will both definitely pray for you right then and there when we get that.
100%. 100%.
So,
Okay. Is that a wrap?
that's right.
That's a wrap for today. God bless each and every single one of you. And don't forget to get out there and watch the sunrise. I need to come up with a good tagline for this. Yeah, but don't forget to get out there and watch the sunrise, because the sunrise is every day. That's not bad. Okay.
I think I got one.
Oh, you've got one? Well, share it.
I'll share it next time.
Oh, next time.
Yeah,
Okay.
You
Well,
have to wait.
I guess you're gonna have to wait till next week to hear what this genius over here is going to come up with. All right. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.